This is the drive home with
Zac
and TT for the Millwall drive home, driving home from the John Smith Stadium, where it finished. Huddersfield Town 1,
Millwall 0.
And it was certainly nil, and we didn't look like scoring in a month of Sundays. Before we go any further, thank you very much for the comments on the last video. Absolutely love reading through those. I'm sure there'll be a few spicy ones in there today. Drop a like on the video if you do like the video and like the content. We really appreciate your support. And speaking of support, I was speaking to an absolute gentleman before the game today. His name was Derek. And, you know, sometimes you always think that, you know, I just feel like me and Zac are talking and you don't really feel like there's an audience, although I know that some of you that comment all the time. Well, this kind of made it very personal. And Derek says he goes home and his brother, who's now blind, elderly gentleman by the name of Stanley Richardson, he goes home and the first thing he does, he puts on the video for his brother, sets it up for his brother so that Stanley can listen to our report on the game and brings him closer to Millwall, which is, you know, heartwarming for us. It's really nice to hear of that support, and we hope we do you justice, Stanley, and thank you very much for your support of the channel. You agreed to that, didn't you?
Yeah.
A few dramas in the stands today, a gentleman having a seizure, as well as obviously paying our respects for the remembrance. It was Huddersfield's turn, but we'll get to the game, which I didn't really want to speak about. We started with Bartosz Biliakowski. I've been told off for the spelling. I'm actually going to have to speak to someone Polish to give me a proper pronunciation, or if I see Bart, ask him. Started hitting him in goal. A back three of Daniel Ballard, Sean Hutchinson and Jake Cooper. Right wing back was Ryan Leonard. Left wing back was Scott Malone. Two central midfielders of Billy Mitchell and George Saville, and a front three of Jed Wallace, Shay Ojo and Tom Bradshaw. We had the first 10 minutes, actually, we were the better side, if I'm completely honest. Jed looked lively. We were getting in the channels quite well, mostly down to Jed. We had a corner early on that was drilled to the far post. Malone came drifting in completely unmarked, but headed it back across goal to nobody. There was nobody on the end of it. Came back out to him and kind of cleared to nothing. Then we had Jed had a chance with about 10 minutes on the clock, run down the right, cut in and drilled his shot straight at the goalkeeper. From then on, it was pretty much Huddersfield's game with very, very few sporadic Millwall chances. You know, it's very, very tough to watch when we're playing like that. You know, it's all well and good when you don't create many chances and you come away with a 1-0 win, scoring one of those chances. And we could have quite easily have done that today, but when you don't get the result, it's really, really difficult to watch. It's just, you just think, what am I? You know, the atmosphere throughout the whole crowd, to be fair, was pretty low, other than, you know, about 50 Huddersfield fans with a drum singing, because it was just not entertaining. It's not entertaining. You know, we couldn't get our foot on the ball. The ball goes forward, and there's so much of a difference between the front three and the two midfielders. And then when the two midfielders get on the ball, Saville and Billy Mitchell both worked hard, but they just have no outlet. Obviously, we changed that at half time. What were your thoughts of the first half?
Both teams were pretty woeful and no one really had any chances. I mean, there was a few Huddersfield shots, but it looked like we were both League One teams in the first half, because it was us playing back and then playing forward and doing nothing from it. So
yeah, but Huddersfield had a decent amount of possession. Huddersfield looked most dangerous when Sorba Thomas got on the ball. Obviously, the lad that we played against in the FA Cup, he's doing well other than his shooting, because his shooting was absolutely horrendous. I think he had 2 or 3 shots and nearly every single one of them went into the upper tier of the stand. But he looks like their spark, their live wire. And normally that would be Jed for us, but we just didn't provide it today, certainly in the second half. But like I said, we just had no... Huddersfield, what Zac alluded to with a shot at Bart, well parried, not really out into the danger area, which is what you want to see. Half time comes and goes. We had to change it up. Kefton Beld came on for Shay Ojo, who was completely anonymous, if I'm completely honest, and we went into a 5-3-2 formation, which gave us more midfielders. and I think it suited us better. However, we never ever looked like scoring. Huddersfield were only really going to score through a set piece. Zac called it actually before the game, before we even saw anything, and he went, I think I've got a feeling we're going to concede from a set piece today.
I said actually from a corner.
You did actually say from a corner. But even before the corner, we the corners before that we conceded, balls into the box that we just were not dealing with, and somehow we cleared it. Bart spreading himself on a couple of occasions to keep the score at 0-0. And like I said, he was thinking maybe we're going to grind out another 0-0 or even better, try and nick it against the run of play. But the goal comes in the 80th minute, a corner from the left, a great run near post by Hogg. I think he's being picked up by either a Fobe or Billy Mitchell. Neither of them do enough to put him under pressure, and it's a good header. We've conceded goals like that already this season, so it's disappointing, but probably on the balance of play, Huddersfield deserve to get all 3 points. And like I said, it's so difficult to watch. It's when we've got another 3.5 hours left of the journey. When you drive up, you spend 4.5 hours getting there. You've got to get the tickets. You pay your money, and you watch, and you just feel like we're not actually doing anything in the game. That's where it's so disappointing. We're just not creating anything, and it's not through a lack of work rate. Players. You say you're man of the match, because I'm going to agree with it, because that's a highlight of it.
Because I thought today the one person that really saved our performance from being several nil to them was Sean Hutchinson at the back, because he made some goal decisive challenges today, and I thought he played absolutely spectacular in the sense, I think he was right side of defence or left side of defence.
I think he's in the centre, isn't he? I think you've got Ballard on the right side, and then Jake Cooper on the left side. Yeah. Easily man of the match. Sean Hutchinson, he makes so much difference to this defence. The fact that he just seems to read the game so well. The amount of times that he gets in the right place, makes the block, gets the clearance, makes the tackle. No matter what you ask of Sean Hutchinson, he does at the back, and he really is such a good defender. And Zac's right. I think he's a little bit excessive in the fact that they were scored 5 or 6. They didn't look like scoring that many goals, but he makes so many good decisions, Sean Hutchinson, at the back. I thought Daniel Ballard didn't play too badly either. And Jake Cooper, in fact, all of our defence, the back three, Ryan Leonard, it was a pretty quiet game from him, couldn't really get on the ball. Scott Malone is going through a woeful run, he's not really defending that well, and he's not getting forward well, and he's arriving at the back post. It's not just quite running for him. His touch, the touch of the ball has not been great. But our biggest problem is the fact that when we get the ball in the central midfield, even when we went with a midfield three, they just seem to have very little options. We just don't keep the ball well enough, so we can't build attack. So eventually we just play it down the channels, or play it up to Bradshaw, who himself run himself into the ground. But you can't have. It's all well and good having runners, but Mo Farah isn't a football player because he can't play football. Running is good and it's useful and it does certain things, but you need players to show a bit of quality and a good touch. And I kept saying to Zac during the game, when Huddersfield went forward with the ball, their players were able to hold it up and then play. And ironically, Zac pointed out to me that when we did it once, and I think was it Jed?
Yeah, Jed was
the ball was played up to Jed. He was through, and then he cut it back, and then we went straight back to the goalkeeper. And Zac went to me, well, you did say about holding the ball up, which I did, but we had a chance to go through. That's not good enough. I'm sure, I don't know what Gary Rowett said. I know a lot of the fans are going to be equally as annoyed and frustrated as me and Zac are driving home down the M1. We've got Reading on Tuesday night at home at the Den. Our home form hasn't been great. We got a win against Stoke last time out, but with 20 minutes of good football, let's hope we just take the game by the scruff of the neck and see if we can take the game to Reading rather than let them come onto us. Let's see if we can do what we did against Stoke in that 20 minutes and try and dominate a game and dominate a team, and see if we can go and pick up 3 points in an exciting manner. I don't want us to lose playing exciting football. You know, I'd rather us. We are a team and a squad that can grind out results. But I just want to see us give a few teams a go, and see if we can pick the 3 points up that way. We really appreciate you. Any final thoughts, Zac?
Any team that has a drum, get rid of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The atmosphere. You know, yeah, really, Zac is completely right. Get rid of the drum. It's no place for it at football. But Huddersfield Town deserve their 3 points. Both of us are going to finish mid-table, I'm no doubt, because they certainly don't have the quality to go up, and neither do we by the way we're playing today and the way we've played with that negative mindset. We'll go again on Tuesday night. Both me, Zac will be there. Thank you very much for watching the Millwall Drive Home. Only one way we can finish it. No one likes us.
We don't care.